Namaskaram to all of you. In my previous video titled Mantras and their potency, etc. In that video, I spoke that mantras help us to activate the connection between us and the Supreme Power. How the mantras help us? Mantras help to activate the connection between us and the Supreme Power or the Supreme Spirit. Now, let us see how we can activate the connection between us and the Supreme Spirit. And also, I mentioned in my previous video that certain mantras are for specific purposes. That is, mantras have certain attributes. A mantra is used to activate that aspect of the Supreme Spirit for which the mantra is designed. Certain mantras are, of course, for specific purposes. And I mentioned in my previous video that, for example, as an example, the Ganesha mantra and certain mantras are, of course, have the attribute of the whole universe or the whole aspects or the whole attributes of the universal energy or the Brahman. For example, the mantra Om, the syllable Om, embraces all the aspects of the Supreme Spirit. We will discuss in detail such aspects of the mantras later on. Now, let us see how we can activate the link between us and the Supreme Spirit. The first thing we have to keep in mind is that mantras create vibrations. So, we chant mantras, maybe loudly or just by moving our lips or in our mind itself, we will be chanting the mantras. When we chant the mantras, of course, some vibrations are created. Some vibrations are created. And it helps us to activate the connection between the Supreme Spirit and us. How it is. First, let us see how we are connected with the universe. First thing. And when we chant mantras, what happens to this connection? And how this sadhana, that is the realization of the power of the mantra, that is sadhana, how it is attained. Now let us see first of all how we are connected with the universe. Of course, we are already connected. We are in the universe which is provided by the Supreme Spirit. But still, there is a specific connection which we can see. How it is? There is a code in the form of energy. A code in the form of energy, which comes from the expanse directly and enters through the crust of our head here, which is called the Brahmarandra. There is a energy core, energy in the form of a core. We are connected with this energy cord with the universal energy or the Supreme Spirit or the Brahman. How you may ask how you can say that there is a cord, etc., and it is energy. So you may think that yes, nobody can see it, nobody can question it. Just I am imagining things and simply talking. It is not like that. What I say is from my experience, what I experienced in my life, that only I am lecturing here, I am saying here, believe me. How you can feel the cord or how you can see the cord. By naked eyes, this cannot be seen, but you can feel it. How? Just by sensitizing your hands for some time. If you are doing like this, just scrubbing your hands each other, it will get sensitized after some time. Then if it is sensitized enough, you can feel the cord. Feel the cord. After sensitizing, you just move your finger like this. If you move your finger like this, you can feel just a light block in the form of a cord. Within 1 or 2 days, you cannot feel it. For some days together, 1 or 2 weeks, you have to daily experience it. Just sensitize your hands and with one pointed attention or with the full concentration. If you are moving your finger like this, you can feel a thread or a cord entering into your Brahmarandha or crest of your head, crown of your head. You can feel it. Just some days training is necessary for it. If you are daily doing it for some time, you just try it every day for 15 minutes. Within 10 or 15 days, you will start feeling this energy, the energy cord. And you can just move your finger like this, then just above this like this, and still above. Then you feel that a cord is descending from the expanse to your crest of your head and enters into your body through the brain. Through the Brahmarandra, through the crest, through the crown of your head, it enters and spreads into your body. It pervades into your body to every cell. So this is the cord connecting the, or a link connecting the universe with us, universal energy or the Brahman with us. You can feel it. Try to find it out. Just sensitive your hands. For 10 or 15 minutes, just you do like this. Move your fingers just above your head. After some time, you will feel a slight block or a slight energy form in the form of a thread or a cord entering through your head. You can feel it. That energy cord is, of course, coming from above, from the expanse itself. That is, it comes from the Supreme Spirit itself. You can feel it. And now, regarding the chanting of mantras, when we chant the mantras, what happens? When we chant the mantras, what happens? Of course, when we try to utter a word, what changes occur in your body? If you examine it or observe it, you can find out that when you start to utter a word, the strain of uttering the word starts from below. That is the base. The base means the Mooladhara chakra, the Mooladhara, which is situated just below the tip of the spine, just below the tip of the spine. That is the anal region, the anal region, that is the base. This is called in Indian scripture, in Hindu scriptures, Mooladhara chakra. This is the base. So when you utter a word, of course, the strain starts from the Mooladhara. I think that you got the point. When you utter a word, you got to take strain to utter a word. The strain, the effort, you can feel the effort starting from the base. That is just below the base is just below the tip of the backbone spine. That is, it is the anal region, anal region. This is called the Mooladhara chakra. I think that almost many of the people know what is Mooladhara chakra, etc. So from there itself, the strain starts. Now, regarding the sound, when we chant, of course, sound is produced. How the sound travels? How the sound travels? It travels through the air. Everybody knows it. In an undulating way, just like waves in the ocean or in water. The sound moves like that. The sound travels in the atmosphere just like waves. Can you say whether there is a creature, whether is there a creature moving like a wave? A creature moving like a wave? Yes, there is a creature, that is a snake. A serpent moves like that. It moves in a zigzag way, just like waves, wave-like way. It moves. So what happens when we utter a sound? Yes, from the Mooladhara itself, the strain starts and it moves upwards. It moves upwards in an undulating way, in a wave-like way. Sound moves like that. So there is vibration. A vibration is created there. And it goes up. And then starts vibrating this chord. Of course, when we utter a word, it creates undulations, waves in the atmosphere as well. And not only the words, but even thoughts create waves. Even our thoughts create waves. That also you can find out easily. When you sit near a person, sometimes you feel some sort of discomfort. When you sit near a person for some time, sometimes you will feel a slight discomfort. Why? Because it is the thoughts in his mind that creates waves. The thoughts which create waves, which is not adjustable to us. That is it. So, if his thoughts are nice, good thoughts, naturally there won't be discomfort. That is, when we speak to certain persons, we feel a sort of happiness. That also you might have observed. Many people do not observe because all these things, good thoughts, people with the good thoughts, bad thoughts, etc. We are daily meeting, we are daily mixing with. So naturally, it has become a habit, and we have adjusted to such thoughts and actions. So usually we do not worry about the feelings what we feel. But still sometimes when we sit near a person, when we mix with certain people, we feel a sort of happiness, an unexplainable feeling of happiness. And sometimes when we meet with certain people, mix with certain people or certain surroundings, some sort of uncomfort or a discomfort we feel. A discomfort we feel. Some irritable feeling also we get in certain circumstances, certain situations, when we mix with certain people. So what does it mean? It is the other person's thoughts. A kind-hearted, innately kind-hearted, good people, unselfish, compassionate feeling, people with these things naturally create a happiness when we meet them. People with greediness, jealousy, etc., of course, create a sort of discomfort in our mind. So that is the reason for it. So it means that even thoughts create vibrations in the atmosphere. So not only actions but also thoughts. And also the uttering of sound. If certain people speak loudly, sometimes it will create a discomfort. If certain people speak, of course, we like it. So the sound creates vibrations. It influences us. That's it. So like that, the mantras also create vibrations. And of course, there are mantras with specific attributes. And mantras, of course, which embraces the whole aspects or the attributes of the universe or the universal energy or the Brahman, that is the Supreme Spirit. For example, the syllable Om, the mantra Om, embraces all the aspects of the universal energy. So the syllable Om is used to denote or indicate the Brahman himself. And now, so we have understood that the sound creates vibrations, so naturally the mantras chanted with a particular or a specific rhythm create vibrations, and also the mantra creates vibrations in the string or the chord which connects us with the universal energy. So when we meditate upon a mantra or a god, exactly what happens is that there is vibrations in our body, and it is of course transmitted through the Brahmarandra, through the energy cord, and of course it reaches the concerned, or it activates the concerned attribute or the mantra with the universal energy. That is the mantra for the attribute of the mantra for which the mantra is evolved. That aspect with the Supreme Spirit is activated. When we chant mantras like Om, etc., as it embraces the whole aspect of the universal energy, of course, it activates, it vibrates all the aspects of the universal energy of the Supreme Spirit. But it is not possible to achieve the mantra siddhi of Om because it embraces all the attributes of the Supreme Spirit. So, first we have to start with certain mantras which taps or which activates certain aspects of the only a certain aspects of the universal energy. If we have achieved the siddhi of that mantra, once we have achieved the siddhi of a particular mantra, then it will be very easy. That is, within a short space of time, we will be able to achieve the siddhi of another mantra. Now, in the next video, we will be discussing about the chanting of mantras and how the linga can be activated with the chanting of mantras. And also, I will explain how to achieve the siddhi of Gayatri Mantra or the power of the realization of the power of the Gayatri Mantra, how it can be achieved. And also afterwards, I will explain how the mantra Sri Rudram can be chanted and we can get aligned with the universal power, or how the power of the or the potency of the Sri Rudram, the mantra termed Sri Rudram, the greatly esteemed mantra Sri Rudram can be realized. And also the Sahasranama Stotras, there are Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, Shiva Sahasranama Stotram, Lalitambika Sahasranama Stotram, etc. How, by chanting all these mantras, we can get aligned with the universal energy, or we can activate our connection with the universal energy. Those things I will explain in my next video. Thank you to all of you. My namaskarams to all of you. Thank you very much.